Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I am here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode. I'm very excited to introduce my guest this week, who is Kym Byrns, who is an eco-friendly architect. And she started her firm Nomad Architect 1 year ago, and she lived in her van for 7 months while traveling across Canada. She creates healthy, ecological, and sustainable architectural projects to promote the well-being of humans and the environment. She has also created the podcast Grandir et tout simplicité, which means grow in simplicity in French, to inspire people to reconnect with themselves, to create the life that inspires them. She's also a human design coach to help beautiful souls on their path to reconnect with themselves and reveal their true nature. Hi, Kym. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for the invite. It's like very nice to see people just like describe your life and like, oh my God, I did so much things.
Oh my God, I'm so awesome. Yeah.
Actually, I think it's the first time that like someone just like introduced me. So it's like, oh my God, it's special.
That's what we're here for, to celebrate how amazing you are and for you to tell us all about it to inspire everybody. So I'm so inspired by the fact that you've taken this career as being an architect and really made it work for you and decided to opt out of like the crazy hours, the crazy working in an office that I know can be involved in that career path, and to really rearrange that so that it fits your values and so that you're contributing things that really feel in alignment for you. So I'm really curious, like, how did that transition happen to going from your, the previous iteration in your career as an architect to then living the van life and doing what you do now?
Yeah. Oh my, yeah, there's so many things to say, but like, I knew that at some point in my life, I just didn't know if I want to quit architecture because it was just too much for me. And I was like, I don't like the way it's like the way we create architecture and buildings. And I don't know, it was really like cold and I don't know. So I didn't really like it. And, but I knew like maybe in my life, I'm going to be like a international architect because I wanted to, not to be known, but like just to do like small project around the world and just travel and everything. So I knew it was like, maybe one day I'm going to do this. And I remember like last year, I said like, oh, maybe in 2 or 3 years, I'm going to like travel in my van. And maybe in 5 years, I'm going to be like, I have my own firm, but it's like last year. So everything happened just so fast. And yeah, I just decided to commit and go for it and just decide to create it. And I remember that at my work, I was just like looking at my screen and just start to cry because I cannot do this anymore. I was like, no, I don't like it. And when I was in school, I really liked it. It was like, a lot of creativity and you have time to do some research and do your work. And it was really like fun for me. But like, yeah, when I was working, I was like, no, there's something missing. I want like more creativity, more liberty, more time to do like other stuff too. Cause like I like architecture, but I also like do like other stuff. So yeah, it's really like a lot of things that happened the last 1 or 2 years ago. So it's really crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think it's a story that so many people can resonate with. I have had a similar experience when I did an internship at 20th Century Fox when I was kind of like in between my visas in Canada. And I was just I was crying on the bench at lunch. I hated the office environment. I hated that everybody communicated via email and like nobody had time to have conversations and just kind of being stuck behind a computer, and it just didn't fit with me. And I kind of knew that. And I think a lot of people have a real passion for their particular career in their field, but like the actual structures of the industry can feel super oppressive and like not aligned with your values and just require so much more from you than you're actually willing to give. So I think it's so inspiring to share stories like yours where you're proof that you can take the thing that you love. You don't have to necessarily completely walk away from your industry or your field, but you can be super creative, particularly as like a multi-passionate person who, you know, is everybody in this audience who loves to do and has passions around so many different things and loves to live a rich and diverse life and just isn't willing to sacrifice that or to give that up for, you know, somebody's idea of what your career path or your industry should look like. So please tell us, like, what have been some of the pieces that you've had to navigate while shifting what your, like, you know, your career path in your industry has looked like. So from going from where you were then to coming to how you're doing it now. And obviously you probably had to come up against like limiting beliefs or stories that it couldn't be done or that it wouldn't work as well, or, you know, all of that stuff. So how did you navigate that?
Yeah, actually it's like always this kind of like belief that just limiting yourself. And sometimes I don't know. I remember at first I was like, oh, maybe one day I'm going to be like international architect or travel in my van. And everybody around me was like, oh, are you sure it's going to work? And oh, it's going to work. You know, and I don't know. It feels the same for me. Like, I don't know how it's going to go. And I don't know. It feels just like I didn't really know at this time. And I saw like one video of one girl that she was an architect in her van. And was like, oh my God, but it's possible. I can do it. I don't know how. I still don't know how, but I'm going to do it and just try. And it's not like you just quit your job, quit your partner, quit your apartment. It's like, yeah, all of this finally happened in my in my path, but it's like one step at a time. Sometimes like just, yeah, when I start my podcast, I was like, oh, I just want to express myself. I want to be free. So maybe it's a way to feel free, to just free yourself. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to travel the world like by doing this. So it was really like some simple step that, yeah, at some point I was like, okay, now I can do this with my job and quit it and find another one. And finally saw that it wasn't working anymore. But I still travel in my van for like 3 months and working in an office. And at some point I was still like, no, I can't do this anymore. So just decide to quit again. So yeah, there's a lot of like fear. And I knew every time I was just like crying. It's like, is it the good thing? Is it what I'm supposed to do? And I was just like shaking. And it's like so stressful. But at the same time, it's like, I know it's going to be good for myself. I don't know how it's going to happen, everything, but just, yeah, you just commit to it. You just go and it's like, oh my God, a leap of faith. And I like to say that sometimes you think you just like jump of a bridge, but actually you jump and there's like, how do you say this? It's like, not like a blanket that can like,
yeah, or like a stepping stone, but yeah,
you think there's this, but when you jump, actually you were in a jet and you just start to go up. So you think there's nothing under, but it's like, and it just started. So yes, you just don't know what's gonna happen. And when you make space for yourself to like all new things, it's just like, it's crazy. You don't expect what is gonna happen. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's totally true. And I love that. It's like, yeah, you can leap and you can leap with both feet, but it's also okay to like put one foot forward in this direction first, you know, like you were still in your job, but then you moved into your van. So you kind of had like one foot in the vision and one foot still, you know, like your previous life. And then you just took your time to kind of transition and figure it out as you went along. I was just talking to one of my
it's always this is like, yeah, you do one step and you're like, oh, okay, oh, I'm ready, go. And then you continue. It's like, okay. So just one step at a time and follow your intuition also. It's like, just, if you really feel it, it's like, there's a reason why. So just go. And even if it's scary, it's.
Yeah. Like I always say, you're always choosing between the discomfort of resisting what you want or the discomfort of like actually going for what you want. Like both things are kind of uncomfortable, but the discomfort of going for what you want is way more fun and the payoff is way higher than the discomfort of resisting what you really want. So please tell us about the projects that you're doing, like the sustainable, eco-friendly architectural project. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, actually, that's funny because in my last office, I was working on like $200 million project. It was really like big, like school and hospital, and very, very big. And I was like, no, that's not what I want to do now. I'm just working like a small zero waste commercial, how do you say it? A store, and like a yoga studio, and just like ecological home, and just like really small project, but I can really connect with the client and just really be present for themselves and just have idea for their small project, because you don't have always like big things that you have to do. And I really like the simplicity. So the small one, and it's really some project that inspire me, and you can really connect like with the people that are going to go there and live there, and the environment and everything. So it's really inspiring for me and for them too. So
that's amazing. I love how you talk about simplicity as one of your values, because I feel like sometimes like the big goals, like, working for the best company, or like moving to the big city, or, like these kind of markers of success that maybe we picked up from our industry or from other external influences. Like when sometimes you're working towards things that actually don't resonate with you or don't feel good to you. And then when you reassess that and come back to what's a true desire that may be like, in conflict to some of those ideas, or like the opposite of some of those ideas, actually, and it works out way better.
That's funny because when I was traveling in my van, I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna leave for like 2 years, and it was really for me like, oh, I'm gonna leave for a lot of time. And then I met just like one couple of like the family and everything. I was just like, okay, now I'm hometown. And I just decided, I saw my house, actually my little tiny house. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like close to the garden and the tree fruit, like simple things that make you like happy. And I'm sure I'm gonna travel again, maybe like next summer, because now it's winter and it's a little bit cold in Quebec. But yeah, it's like sometimes take time to go back to the place you feel like home, and just be there with your I don't know, the person you love, and the place that you feel good. So
yeah, and I think simplicity just is synonymous with freedom, because it's so easy to live. We live in a world where it's so easy to overcomplicate things. It's so easy to like overbook ourselves and say yes to everything, and be busy. And I think that's like the number one thing that people are trying to figure out how to not be, because it's an act of resistance to not be busy, right? It's an act of resistance to take time for our bodies and our health and quality relationships, and to take time out from work, and to prioritize, all of the things that we love and that like make us feel alive, because it's so easy to get sucked in to the rat race and to the career ladder. And I think simplicity is it's the backbone of freedom. So tell us a little bit about your van life and how it's been for you, like transitioning to living in that way.
Yeah, actually, it's fun because for me, it was just like I had to do it. It wasn't really like hard to do it. Like last year, I traveled for like 2 months in West Canada, and I was really like, I don't know, I felt good. I was always outside, just like, even if it's a really small van, when you see like van in Instagram, it's like big Sprinter and things. For me, it was like a Dodge Caravan. So it's a really like small car. I was just feeling just so good. And I change houses a lot. So every time I like just give stuff and like like, I don't know what to say, just like make my life simpler. I don't know. So yeah, I just like, yeah, so simplify my life and everything. So like for me, the van was just like a continued, like, I don't know, a part of the path. And so yeah, I felt so good just being always outside. Like the first thing I do in the morning was just like open the door, because if I want to go in my kitchen, I had to go outside. So it's like I'm always outside meeting people, and people are like, oh, are you not like tired to be alone? And I was like, no, actually, I met a lot of people. And if I want to be alone, I can just stay in my van. But if I want to meet like new people, I'm just going out and see people around there, and we have like really deep conversation. It felt so good. So yeah, for me, it wasn't really like a fear to go in my van. It was just like something that I need. So yeah.
Amazing. And what have been some of your places that you visited?
I went in British Columbia and Alberta last year, and this year I went to Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So I was like driving all the way around, took the boat, 3 days of boat, and go to Newfoundland. And yeah, it's really beautiful. So a lot of hikes and water, and yeah.
Some of the most beautiful places on earth. I used to live in British Columbia, so I know that it's like literally the most beautiful place I've ever been, apart from maybe Hawaii. Both of them, I think, are equally beautiful. But I haven't been out east, but it's top of my list because it looks so stunning. So what is like the main message on your heart that you really wish more people knew?
I think it's like when you have the intuition to do something, it's like just go for it. And sometimes it's just like shaking in our body, and it's like, I know I want to do this, but I don't want to jump, or I don't know what's going to happen, or I don't know how I'm going to do this. But you're never going to know how it's going to happen. If I like imagine my life, it would like, it's, I don't know what to say, but for sure, like the way I imagine it, it wasn't the way it happened. So it's like, just have faith in you, in life, and just go for it. And yeah, some magics happen. It's really beautiful. So
yeah, follow those nudges, because we will lead somewhere incredible. And thank you so much for coming and sharing about your adventures and van life with us today. Please, can you tell everybody where they can find you and what you've got going on at the moment?
Yeah, actually, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. So Instagram it's in French. I share in French. It's my first podcast in English too. So it's Grandir en toute simplicité. Or you can find me on Kym Byrns on Facebook or Instagram. So like I can send you the link so you can share it too. And yeah, not for now. I'm just like doing my architectural project and also human design coaching and everything. So it's just like a balance between different things in my life, and I really enjoyed it. So. Yeah.
Being a multi-passionate queen.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming and sharing everything with us today. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you. Please like and share and subscribe. Share this show with anybody who you know would benefit. And please, I would so appreciate it if you would head over to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review so that this content can reach more people. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.